That's the new one. Okay, now that he's done, now we're going to show you how to do a diagonal facing ship. So we're going to fix this. We're going to change flight direction. Excuse me. We're going to point it that way. Now this is now the new front. This is the new back. So now what we need to do is we're going to redesign the whole ship around the reactor. So we just start ripping everything off. And we'll change this to a 24 crew ship diagonal facing and figure out how to do this. Keeping just the... I know there's probably an easier way to do it, but... old-fashioned. There we go. Now we're going to take the center line, we're going to take this section right here, we're going to right-click it, we're going to do north to south this way like this. I've only ever made one good diagonal ship, but it's in a tiny 4-crew ship with 2 ions. Redesign a ship based on the doors. So the first thing I would like to do is I always like to have 4 doors in the corner. That's always what you definitely want. The next thing you want to do is you want to design it around shields. So this is going to be a 24 crew ship. So we want to make sure that the shield placement for these are near the front, can cover, and then we also want maybe a large shield as well to cover that right there, and then you can place armor in it. So you have protection here, protection there. And then I've never actually done it this way, but I've always thought about doing shields like this. That'd be interesting. And then now we have shields like this, and then you have your shields like this, and then this one needs to be this door right there for to cover that door. And then the actuality, this should be not there. Should be like that. That'll work better. Okay, add the walkways. And you have shield cover, and then shield cover. And then you could even have another shield cover here to do more protection. And then now that you've placed your shields in your reactor, then you're going to build your head armor. So let's build some head armor here. We don't want to overdo it. We don't want to underdo it either. And then I like to do the reverse side, and then I like to do this side. And then you have 3 layer stacks like this, and then you figure out how to place out the rest in the middle. So this is your main defense, is this way, and you rotate them back and forth each way. So this one's facing this way, this one's facing this way, this one's facing this way. And then you have this in the middle. And then what you can stick here is you could stick either crew, or you could stick an overclocked thermal capacitor to help with this. Just depending how you want to design your ship. But then what we want to do is we want to make sure that we cover in the rest of this. And so this is what we're going to do. And that attaches that. So we have some armor there. We don't want to overdo it because it's just a 24 crew ship. And I don't want to put too much weight on it either. So this is just the main armor that you have on here. This can just be a single diagonal piece. And then we can fill in the rest, or we can leave this space open with just frames. And then we have our shield system built right there. Now what we need to do is we need to build at least 2 cockpits, because we don't want 3. We might need a control room for this design. But we need to figure out where we want to put these. We're going to just stick that right there for right now. And we're going to put in more. And then what you want is you want some corridors coming out for them to come in and out here. Now the reactor may need to move down more, or we can leave the reactor there for right now. And now we need offensive weapons. This is where we wanted thermal though. But for a 24 crew ship, we're not going to be able to do that. So you don't want to put your heavy lasers next to your large shields. You're going to want to put your heavy lasers away or even further down. But what you do want to stick is disruptors can be 1 layer stack away from it. So you can do 1 layer stack or even 2 layer stacks, but 1 layer stack is probably good enough. And then you're going to want to cover this by armor, because this is where the AI is going to shoot. It's going to shoot these large shields. So then you have this right there. Then you have 2 disruptors, or in this case it's only 24 crew, so we only want 1 disruptor each. And then we want space for heavy lasers. And we'll space them out at least 1 space apart. And then we're going to put armor between here. Attach this with corridors. This is going to be the double one, and then I need 2 1, and then they come up like this. Okay. And then we need walkways to make this all function. So I want this to be the out. There, I want this to be up. I want this to be out. And then we need to back down. That's gonna be in and out, and this is up and down. This is like this. That. Then this extra space, this needs to be crew members. That's the 24. We might need to change that. And we still have some extras to build some other things, but now we have a base template. Now we need to figure out engine rooms. So we need at least 1 engine room minimum. And then we need to figure out if we want to put huge thrusters. I haven't seen AI breakdowns on how they target things. I've struggled arranging things to win an AI battle. It's just by value of the part. No, it's armor ratio and also what the hugest threat is. So large shields are definitely one of the biggest, hugest threats, depending if there's armor in the way of where they are to it. The next biggest threat's going to be large. In this case, for this ship, what you're looking at is going to be the large heavy lasers, and then disruptors. Disruptors have a lower priority, and or it could be the shields, depending on armor ratio to wherever the target AI is facing. And then obviously your large reactor is going to be a big high priority target as well. It just depends on where the AI is, or what it's looking at. I like a huge thrusters here. I like large thrusters. And I like standard thrusters. Door here. The door's there. Oops. Okay. Now we have a base template of engine rooms. We're missing diamonds to build this, but this is just a 24 crew ship. So in theory, what I could do, just because this is the empty space, so you can move this in closer like that. And then this is where we can now stuff an airlock on both sides in case we need it. We have this walkway here. We have the doors on the corners. We have a free space here for something. Alright. There's your base template of something. What you can do now for just a 24 crew ship is we now need to figure out how to put the heat system in because we want to overclock stuff. So this is where I'm going to stick heat. And I would love to connect it all. And this is where I actually need to move the engine room down. Now that we know what we need, is you're going to cut this. We're going to move this down 1 space. We're going to connect this with heat pipes. I don't know how it's going to work. If it works that way. Oh, it does work that way. It does work that way. You don't need a connector. Okay, good. This. But they're not connected. It's not connected. I needed to do the heat crossing. Huh. Does that work? I guess I gotta move it down another one. I gotta go down a whole other section just to make this work. Okay, we got space. We just need to figure it out. Yucky. That. And this needs to be in the inners. Now we put the fire extinguishers in the outers. There we go. Now we got the heat system connected this way. Heat system connected this way. These can be here. These can be fire extinguishers. Can they? No, this needs to be here. I need to figure out how to put thermal batteries in here as well. This is definitely going to be thermal battery here. Minimum. We probably need another thermal battery. Heating pipes. Okay, well now we got some of this, some of that. We're already 8 points over, so we need to... Is it just going to be 2? No, we're going to take off some shields. Leaves me 2 points left. This is going to be... Make sacrifices. Okay. Now we have this. We got 3. I might have to just pull off a radiator instead. 2 radiator. Yeah, I don't need that much heat reduction. Okay. Pull off a radiator instead. Then we can put the shield back in. And maybe we can put out those thrusters. Yeah, there we go. It's better. This fits better here. Okay. Now we have these can be overclocked. The engine room can be overclocked. We can power up this. I just need to stick armor in there and that's not bad. I think that's not bad. Just looking it over real quick. So with that much engine power, we can now shape this. This can be this pieces. This can be empty space. If this doesn't want to be empty space because that's protecting this one. And that needs to cover up like that. Okay. And we could technically put a couple more empty spaces in the other places, but this just covers just a little bit. It looks kind of funky and goofy, but it's just a raw design. Let me just cover up this real quick. Cover this real quick. Cover that. Should cover this. We need some armor here for sure. And then we need to cover up this tiny bit. In theory, this should actually be one of these. Cover that up a little bit better. I don't like it. Okay, so. Alright, where are my diamonds? You're still back here. Okay. Your diamonds. Might have diamonds here. The batteries hold a deceptive amount of heat. Sort of. Semi. The 1 to 2 angle looks good next to the 1 to 3 angle. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We got diamonds. Okay. So we can now build this as the new 24 crew base template. And then we'll expand out the 24 crew ship once we have a new base diagonal ship. And we'll see how this all goes. Speed the game up. Okay, slowly get back down. You should have 24 crew. We only have 20 crew. So we could give them the 24 crew that they need. Turn that off. Okay. Take this and this, and this and this. We're gonna overclock these. I might have too many shields compared to... Oh, the engine room's taking up crew too. That door's wrong. We need to do some quick minor fixes real quick. Should be that like that. This right here should be walkways. If they're gonna be up here, this should be ups. No, that won't work. And we'll leave it alone for a second. That could be cargo space. Could be cargo space. Cargo space. You could technically put cargo space here too if you wanted to, but we're not going to. But that's cargo space for that. Alright, make that so real quick. Make this tiny change. Alright, step back down. Let's do a quick weapons test. Alt A. And we'll do a quick engine room test with that. I don't have any reverse thrust on this. And I don't have these overclocked yet. Okay, definitely not enough crew for a 24 crew ship. But heat-wise, we're doing okay. Heat-wise, this needs to be alternating fire. This needs to be alternating fire. Is this pulling heat? I don't want that overclock. That's overclock. That's overclock. That's overclock. That's overclock. Okay. Yeah, 2 of your large lasers are halted. Yeah, there's not enough crew for this, but it's just a 24 crew base template. Just do a tiny bit of base damage. It will work for what it is. It's not meant to do too much. It's just a 24 crew base template. Alright, let's turn these off. Good enough for me. Do a quick repair. Over here, save the ship design. We're gonna call you something else. Where's the 24 crew? 32, 32, 24, 24. This is new 24. This is we'll go to 2. 2.2.1. Okay, here we go.